It started out like any ordinary Saturday morning at MSSM. Then something went wrong, drastically wrong. A new country called Bravẽristan began to form in the lounge. At first, it was merely a nuisance to those not involved, but soon the country began to expand its borders. This upset certain members of the student body to the point where a revolution seemed like the only option.
We will hold for no one! We won't let them pass! And we will kill every single one of them!
I agree!
And so it came to pass that the fortress of Bravẽristan was surrounded by communist revolutionaries. There, a civilian named Cheney Larocque read a list of grievances to the newly formed nation. Within moments, combat was initiated between those inside the fortress and those surrounding it, leaving the once peaceful lounge in a state of complete chaos. Bravẽristan was now under siege, and war had begun.
My association with the Bravẽristan communist battle is unfortunate to say the least. I was having a normal day, just trying to enjoy my tea when must have been 15 to 20 hooligans ran past me with swords and knocked my tea mug right out of my hand. And tea was cascading everywhere.
One of the first casualties of the siege was a first year who had his legs swept out from under him by the first year begoodstick, which was essentially an unpadded metal chair leg. This provides an excellent example of the kind of crude, unchivalrous combat that prevailed in that early period. Today, in this region, fighting is honorable and follows a very, very strict code of honor. Obviously, members of the MSSM community today are much more civilized than those who fought in the Bravẽristan.
So I was in my room and I heard this banging on the door. And I heard, "Siege Bravẽristan! Siege Bravẽristan!" And so I went out of my room and I'm like, "What's Bravẽristan?" And Joe Schlesinger, the one who'd been yelling, put a Balfour sword in my hand and said, "Come with me and find out." So I came with him and I went down into the lower lounge, and I saw all these people attacking Bravẽristan, and I felt so moved, but I had to join the communists and attack Bravẽristan myself.
Alright, so there we were, assaulted by Bravẽristan. Unfortunately, we were Bravẽristan, and we were assaulted by the communists. So what we did was, I was off. I was scanning for crocodiles, and so what we did was maybe 3 or 4 of us. We were skedaddling. We were strutting our stuffs, and And the communists come, they surrounded our entire fort. So we come down, so we see them, and we go, we yelled. We yelled as loud as we could. We went upstairs, grabbed our...
David, will you sign my boobs?
And...
Marvel, stop stealing my boobs.
And we fought them. That's what we did, we fought them. And... yeah, I mean, I had a boffer sword. I think the first year Be Good stick was in use. Yeah, I'm coming.
Come faster.
Yeah, I'm coming. And so,
Get your ass up
we
here.
fought them off. We fought them off.
I beg your pardon. As I was saying before that a piece of interaction with my colleague, today fighting at the system is much more civilized. Much more civilized. And there's practically no chance of being viciously assaulted without a formal challenge.
Well, I had my sword, and there were people in every direction. I was swinging at people. I hardly knew which side anyone was on. And I looked out the window and I saw people running around outside, and there was chaos, and there were people running through the Bravẽristan fort, and there were flags, and people were everywhere. So I saw more and more people funneling outside. So I went outside myself, and I was hit in the back by one of those Bravẽristanis.
Fortunately, however, for the civilians concerned, the communists decided that it would be unwise to attack the fort because that might entail damaging it, and they were hoping to take it for themselves after the war. So instead, they ran outside and seized the Bravẽristani flag.
At first, it seemed that the communists held the advantage. At the time of the attack, Bravẽristan wasn't fully occupied. Even the president was nowhere to be found in those first moments. The communist flag was raised high above the courtyard in place of the Braväristani colors. This glory was temporary, for soon things began to go downhill for the communists. This downhill slide started with the betrayal of one of the original communist planners, Toby Reinig.
The betrayal of Tobias Reinig came as quite a shock. As I mentioned before, he actually was the one who had the idea to start the rebellion. So I didn't think that he would bail on the rebellion. He did, I guess, and then he came back or something. His whole history. It was very. I didn't follow it, but it was a shock. I was disappointed. I thought we lost a good man.
To this day, historians are not entirely certain what caused the infamous Tobias Reinig to switch sides. There was no apparent reason for it. He changed to a side that was obviously outnumbered in the middle of a battle. Essentially by charging through the back of his own ranks and hitting everyone he saw over the head. His relations with Bravẽristan were not historically good. Earlier in the day, he had been repulsed from the fortress while claiming to be a UN weapons inspector. Why he chose to side with Bravẽristan is unknown. Experts on Mr. Reinig theorize that the reason was that he was a complete loon.